Good evening. Welcome to the graduation ceremony of the 35 graduating class of the full-time MBA program. My name is Josep Frank, and I am the Dean of Esade Business School. A cordial welcome to Mr. Makiuchi, Consul General of Japan in Barcelona, Mr. Lindgren, Consul General of Brazil in Barcelona, Mr. Cavalcanti, Deputy Consul of Brazil in Barcelona, Dr. Sergio Bertolucci, Director for Research and Computing at the CERN, Professor Gloria Bagliori, Associate Dean for the full-time MBA, faculty members, MBA team and Esade staff, graduates and families, friends. I would also like to greet all those relatives and acquaintances who are following us via streaming from their home countries. Today, we are gathering to celebrate the graduation of the 151 students of the 35 class of the year of the full-time MBA. We have graduates here this evening representing 42 different nationalities. I'm not going to read all the countries represented here, but since we have the Consul General from Japan and from Brazil, I'm glad to mention that we have 12 Japanese students and 9 Brazilian students. Allow me to provide you with a brief introduction to this magnificent building called La Llotja del Mar. This is the city medieval exchange and trading room. This is one of the most iconic buildings in Barcelona, and it has been a symbol of a dynamic civil society committed to Catalonia economic and social progress. In the Middle Ages and well into the modern era, the Llotja was the headquarters of the Sea Consulate. This was a commercial tribunal that had a strong influence in all the Mediterranean when Barcelona became a commercial and economic hub. In the second half of the 18th century and the first half of the 19th century, this building housed the Royal Board of Commerce of Barcelona. Many schools were created at that time, amongst them one which was the School of Commerce back in 1787. In 1886, this building became the home of the official Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Shipping of Barcelona, and later it hosted the Barcelona Stock Exchange. La Llotja comprises a set of different superimposed buildings. The Gothic nucleus is where we are now, and it dates from the late 14th century, early 15th century, and this was the contracting hall. A nave was added later on in the 15th century, which contains the Golden Room, and it was extended later on in the 16th and the neoclassical times, and you can probably see the facades when you were coming in here, and this dates back from the 18th century. So from over 6 centuries, this building has witnessed our achievements in the field of trade, in the field of art and architecture. Within these walls, merchants, entrepreneurs, business people have signed deals and contracts, have made businesses, have bought and sold goods from and to overseas markets. A lot of economic and business development of this city has happened here. This is why, for an international business school like Esade, it is a real privilege to host our graduation here in such an historical building. But let's proceed with the first speech of the evening. We shall now be joined by the MBA student representative, Mr. Farai Sekeso.
Wow. This is amazing. Good afternoon, classmates, friends, family, and the Esade community. I'd just like to start by saying congratulations to the class of 2015. We've made it, guys. We're here. We've made a great stride towards realizing our dreams. You know, guys, 20 to 36 months ago, it seemed unimaginable or even impossible. But in Nelson Mandela's words, it's always impossible until it's done. We've done it. Congratulations again. I must say, I'm glad that we all made it here on time. For the first time in 18 months, none of us has walked in late, looked to share a cab or a number for a cab. Congratulations on finally making it on time. It's such an honor to stand before you and to reflect on the journey that we have shared in the last 18 months. It's been difficult to come up with a speech that reflects everyone's journey, but what I know, and with hindsight, is that it all started with wanting more. Regardless of where we were, in Africa, the Americas, Asia, Europe, the Pacific, we dreamt of more. More for ourselves, more from our careers, more for our families, and more for our communities. I remember seeing you all for the first time and thinking that we were all different and had it all figured out. However, with time it became apparent that this was far from the truth. We didn't know anything, we didn't have it figured out, and you know, we wanted the same thing. We wanted more for ourselves. Friends, our journey has been longer than 18 months, which comes to an end today. For me, it's almost been 36 months. Right from the beginning, we had to make hard decisions and endure uncertainty. Our very first decision to pursue an MBA on a full-time basis may have been unpopular, misunderstood, unappreciated, or even scared us. We had to decide to quit our jobs, take a sabbatical from family business, relocate our families, decide how to fund ourselves, and convince ourselves that we would cope in a foreign country, so far away from our loved ones. There were also uncertainties, preparing for that little monster, the GMAT. I remember feeling insecure about basic algebra, and for some it was the language section. Writing the admissions essays, which I'm sure each one of us tore up a version at some point. And finally, not knowing whether we're going to make it into top institutions such as Esade. Personally, the decision to come to Esade was motivated by wanting to be more than just a number, something you can't achieve at any other business school. I didn't want to get lost in the crowd. However, with all of the deliberate planning I made in coming to Esade, I forgot one important detail, which was to learn Spanish. And this turned out to be common amongst a lot of us, as we don't know any Spanish. When I arrived here, I didn't feel lost because in true Esade form, there was a helping hand. Thanks to our Spanish-speaking classmates for helping us view and secure accommodation, translate documents, and our visits to the doctors. Before classes started, I got the sense of what the admissions team looks for in Esade students. People who work well together, true collaborators. As we immersed ourselves into the MBA and began opening up to one another on our daily commute, in our group meetings, over lunch or coffee, and not so much at TGIF, we began to realize that our journeys were inspired by the same things: a future state of being, a deep desire to make a difference in our spheres of influence, a need to discover and decide the next phases of our lives. We were on a journey of self-discovery and exploration of our individual and collective passions. Each of us knows individually what we have achieved and discovered for ourselves and about others. During our time together, many things have happened. From the very beginning, we learned to work with each other. Remember those exercises in Girona? If at the time we thought it was hard, it got harder when we had to turn in assignments in groups. For me, term one was about learning to collaborate in multicultural and diverse teams, learning to influence each other without rank to achieve a common goal. Did we have our conflicts? Yes, we did. Did program management seem unhelpful when we had trouble? Indeed, they did. However, this was all to prepare us for our roles as managers. Our diversity went beyond where we were from and what we had done before. Who knew you could rap and dance your way onto the Mombasa board? Or that Hiradeep was fluent in Spanish and could say, "Me llamo Hiradeep." Wait for it, wait for it. Or that Bhangra was a way of life for a sailor. We thought we knew what busy was until we had to grapple with GCM, ALCP, and the faculty knows what else we had to prepare readings for before, and the self-inflicted optional language classes in the afternoons in the second term. We had survived accounting and finance. We thought it would be an easier term, but it turned out that it wasn't. This was also the internship application and interview season. This is after back and forth with CV reviews, cover letter reviews, mock interviews. In this term, my friends, we learned to prioritize, to trust our teams, and to be resilient, to keep going on, no matter how difficult it seems. Our teamwork and dedication to each other was never more apparent when those that are athletically gifted represented us at the Esade, Spring Games, and MBAT, or including also those that are not athletically gifted. The preparations for MBAT, to me, were something of legend. People came together when they had to. We were serious, but didn't take ourselves seriously. Something I learned to do over the last 18 months myself. I didn't have the pleasure of attending the Spring Games or MBAT, but we brought back home some gold. And I like to say to Snare, it doesn't matter how we got the gold. Or to Michael, thank you for putting your body on the line for Esade. We lit up MBAT with our camaraderie, which was by far the best. During the summer, I had students from other schools positively comment on our camaraderie as being the best among all the schools at MBAT. I was never prouder to be associated with you all. To top it up, we ended the term with our own cover of Happy. Now that was particularly awesome. Friends, I think by the time we got to the third term, we were truly a community. There are some individual victories that each of us enjoyed in the last 18 months. Some of them include not using Google to translate and communicate, so from English to Spanish or vice versa. To give a presentation in a second or third language in front of at least 50 people and not break a sweat. To analyze business strategies, operations, and finances, and to have an opinion. We all conquered something we were not confident in. To break the stereotypes about who we were and where we came from. Having experienced all of this together, I see what admissions could see 21 months ago. We were all the same, and today we've become a group of people that are self-aware, appreciate diversity, and are inspired to be responsible leaders. I sincerely feel that we have converged after 18 months and now share a common heritage, which is Esade. As the future stares us in the eye today, specifically the question, what next? Some of us have answers and some of us don't. It is emotionally and psychologically draining to think of the future as an MBA. This is because of the sacrifices we have made and the uncertainty of whether the chances we took will pay off. As we have this stare down, I'd like you to remember the stare down we had when we decided to do an MBA full time. Just as it was at the beginning, we cannot connect the dots looking forward. We can only connect them looking backwards and with hindsight, like we can about the last 18 months. We must trust that it'll all make sense in the end. Esade has equipped us with the tools to take our careers to the next level. It is no longer a matter of if we will get there, but a matter of when we will get there. We may have to take a different route from the ones we envisioned, but I am certain we will get there because we have come this far against a lot of odds. My dear friends, as we step into being representatives of Esade, I believe that our identity as Esade alumni should not be about the career choices we make, but what inspires us, what we do when we arrive, and how we inspire others. As we step into the world, I'd like to challenge each one of us to inspire and create new futures, to play our part in solving global challenges in ways that our roles permit, to give back and build a better tomorrow for our communities, and to the gentlemen that I'm graduating with, to play our part in ensuring gender equality in the workplace. We are equally capable, so in our roles of influence, let's ensure women in business are treated equally. Esade has 5 specific values, which we have lived for the last 18 months. I would like to highlight one that I believe sets us apart as class of 2015. And this one is pursuing, sharing, and enriching the common good of the Esade community. As a class, we have decided to set up a scholarship as a gift for the class of 2017. I am particularly proud and honored to be part of this class because we haven't waited to leave Esade to enrich the community of Esade. Instead, we've done it while we're still here. Ricardo and your team, you make us proud to be associated with this class. This is who we have become. This is who we chose to be when we came to Esade. Whatever we do after today should be for the common good of the Esade community. And this is because it's our beloved Esade. We are Esade. As we walk out of this building today, we must remember that our achievement is by no measure ours alone. Our families and friends, and those who couldn't make it, share in this achievement with us. They had to endure an earful or more at one point or another about a dysfunctional group, a case that didn't make sense, a hard exam, well, which there were plenty of, how much we missed Dom, and how much we wish we had done things differently. Thank you sincerely for all of your support. Your support has made this possible. We couldn't have done this without you. To the Esade Business School faculty, program management, career services, and alumni, thank you for making this journey worthwhile. Thank you for creating an environment that has allowed each of us to interact and collaborate with different nationalities and backgrounds, to develop as managers and individuals in an environment without fearing to fail, and to build a lifetime of friendships and networks. Again, class of 2015, congratulations. This is a great achievement. When you leave this room, may you go with the love of those that have supported us through this journey, the lessons we have learned from the Esade community, the strength of our dreams that have brought us this far. I'd want to close with another Mandela quote. It says, after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more to climb. Let's keep at it with the same enthusiasm and the rigor we've had. Thank you and congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Farai. I'm really proud that you identify this common heritage. Actually, we would like to see you in the future becoming these inspiring leaders that Farai was referring to. And I'm especially glad you mentioned the Esade values that I would be referring to afterwards. Thank you very much. And now we have with us Gloria Batllori, the Associate Dean for the full-time MBA. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm so happy. Like always, there are like two very nice events. That is the beginning, that you are so engaged and passionate, that you're going to start and with energy, and the end. And not because you're going to leave, it's because it's a very nice day. You're happy, you're smiling, you're elegant, you're on time, so that's really good. So congratulations to be here on time for your own celebration. Every year, Mary asks me, Gloria, are you going to say as always that this is a special class? I say, yes, you are a special class on your own. Each class is special. So what do you have as a special? I would say the values, the way you have embraced the values as a class. We know that the diversity and the different cultures, we have different, or we value different areas. For example, some cultures value more family than others. Some cultures value freedom more than others. But there are some generic values that we have as mankind. This is all what you have, the spirit that you have of being good, the altruism, the collaboration, and this is what you have shown us as a class. So congratulations, class 2015, for that very important value. Congratulations. But I would say, what are you going to do with that? You have to do something. Now you're going to leave, and you have to continue with that. You have to make a difference. And to make a difference in the organizations where you're going to stay, work, whatever name you put it, in the society, in the community that is close to you, with your families, with your friends. Just continue with the same spirit. This is a fantastic spirit. You have shown it, and we are really proud. So just continue with that spirit. And now, what we want is we want to show you how proud we are, but giving you some certificates individually. But from my side, congratulations, and see you later. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Gloria, for your inspiring words. And dear graduates, probably this is the moment you have been waiting for over the last 18 months. We shall now proceed with the presentation of the certificates and the sashes to the 35 graduating class of the full-time MBA program. The names of the graduates will be read out by Melissa Hanley, Associate Director for the full-time MBA.
AJ Singh, Amandeep Singh, Jasminder Singh. Siddharth Ghosh, Aura Maria Abadia, Carl Abe Lama. Francisco Olivier Agardi, Arman Ahmad, Firas Abdulaziz Al-Ashban. Eman Aldub, Alexander Alexeyev. Maria Sol Alonso, Faisal Ibrahim Al-Sheli, Tomoko Ando. Keisuke Yarimoto, Olga Aristova, Rafael Agosto. Nilay Badavani, Pooja Bakshi, José Ramón Bañados. Walid Pawakayet, Mohamed Arif Picassana, José Manuel Buenaventura. Nilsson Calvacanti, Justina Chertinoik, Inshi Xiu. Mayank Chaubi, Oriol Cortez, Ali Danisment. Sumen Das, Jigna Desai, Rashri Dugar. Pietro Erbaci, Seven Everett, Guillermo Frare. Anne Friedman, Nelson John Gash, Alexander Golikov. Ana Sofia Gonçalves, Hirosuke Horeai, Maria Isabel Wasaskiche, Taisho Ito, Sanitha Kalagap. Risha Kansal, Daria Kramstova, Marin Kirchner. Pia Kochar, Kaito Kotavi, William Kuratani. Alexander Kuchenko, Hashim Larry, Jorge Alonso Lopez. Scott Lowe, Paula Lozoya, Maria Luvena. Tiffany Ann Ma, Flavia Magalles, Linda Makura. Kusik Mandal, Ricardo Marquez, Guillermo Martinez. Sergio Masip, Sandeep Menon, Heron Mockney. Tulio Moreira, Marco Moretti, Olaya Modla, Snea Muralidharan, Mirko Nolte, Galen Norwood, Francisco Ornelas Normazinho. Alejandra Loreto Para. Carlos Alejandro Peñaloza, Gautam Pusabati, Surab Raghuvanshi, Hiradeep Singh Ratra, Keva Richardson, John Adam Roberts, Diana Roger, Annika Rollman, Poliana Rufino, Shadi Saleh, Adam Sakor,
Este está y nos lo hemos saltado, no lo has dicho. Ah, sí. Vale, pues no nos ha enterado. Él está aquí.
Farai Sekeso, Pau Sadat, Joshi Sika, Raul Singanal, Anwesh Singh, Taro Sotome, Christina Steimer, Charlampos Stengos, Christian Stur, Rio Tabata, Zainab Tariq, Marianne Terliafera. Vishal Thacker, Marta Torrecillas, Juan Gabriel Torres. Michael Treyer, Wenxi Xiang, Yasmin Urbina. Elias Ventura, Marvin Von Plato, Sun-Yi Wang. Yumpang Wang, Roman Varias, Catherine Ann Guller. Yasmin Wang, Seiji Yamaguchi, Yuichiro Yanagawa. Janki Yao, Bermet Sosolinskana. Gautam Kusapati. We haven't actually finished. Congratulations to all of you. But there are some of your classmates who would have loved to have joined us today to celebrate, and they actually can't be here, but they're certainly with us in spirit, with the Esade spirit. Okay. So I'm going to read all of their names now. Luciana Aguiar, Khalid Asaoui, Marwan Al-Faleh, Faisal Al-Othman, Raúl Barrios, Akshay Baweja, Rushil Bhaskar, Roman Birukov, Leguang Sao, Matthew Crane, Luis Miguel Ferraro, Luis Fonseca, Ramon García de Paredes, Matvey Golishev, José Manuel Gómez, Himanshu Gupta, Mirul Joshi, Manoj Karki, Mehmet Kokaluk, Siddharth Gontaviti, Udipt Maheshwari, Samarth Malhotra, Sana Mirza, Albert Muley, Jun Nagamatsu, Arise Onegeme, Fabian Esteban Orozco, Antonio Sala, Jonathan David Powers, Anshuman Sarda, Rafael Schwetz, Kartik Shah, Maumita Sinamapatra, Tomohiko Terada, Tristan Terry, Rodrigo Valiente, Vivek Vupola, Brandon Wright, DJ Ali.
Please, I would like to invite all the graduates, because now you are already graduates. You deserve the right to be called graduates. I would like to please stand up, all the graduates, only the graduates. And I invite all the other people in the room to congratulate them with a big applause. Congratulations. Thank you. Now, let me introduce you to our keynote speaker for this evening, Sergio Bertolucci. He is the Director for Research and Computing at the CERN, the European Organization for Nuclear Research. Born in La Spezia, Italy, Dr. Bertolucci holds a degree in physics, summa cum laude, at Pisa. He has been working in the field of experimental particle physics, mostly at DESI, which is Germany's largest accelerator center, at Fermilab, which are the Fermi National Laboratory in Chicago, America's premier particle physics laboratory, and at Frascati National Laboratories in Italy, where the first accelerator and the first electron-positron collider were built. Dr. Bertolucci was a member of the group that founded Fermilab's CDF experiment. The CDF is the collider detector at Fermilab, and has been involved in the design, construction, and running of the CDF detector. He has also been technical coordinator of the team responsible for the design and construction of the CLOE detector at the Daphne Storage Ring, which is an electron-positron collider at the Frascati National Laboratories. He was appointed head of those laboratories and the Daphne project, becoming the director in 2002. Before taking over the Directorate for Research at CERN, he has been chairing the LHC committee, which is a committee that makes recommendations to the CERN board, and was a member of DESI Physics Research Committee. He was also vice president and member of the board of the Italian National Institute of Nuclear Physics. Why have we invited a prominent researcher to be the keynote speaker this evening? As you are aware, innovation is one of our pillars at Esade. This morning, Dr. Bertolucci and our Dean for Faculty and Research, Dr. Jonathan Wareham, have signed a memorandum of understanding between CERN at Esade for a project named Attract. This project aims to accelerate and bring to the market the new technologies that they develop at CERN. We are already, as you know, involved in different projects with CERN as the challenge-based innovation that some of you know well, which is aimed to use the CERN innovation to address social problems, putting together business, engineering, and design students. So we are really privileged to have Dr. Bertolucci tonight. The title of his speech is Cocktails with the Philosopher, Economist, Industrialist, and the Venture Capitalist, Left for the Future. Please, Dr. Bertolucci, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everybody. I'm grateful that I was introduced, because otherwise, a guy who does fundamental research, the most abstract thing, would like here in this ceremony of you are dealing with the real things, would be like a bit like inviting Ronaldo to a private party of Barca. And so I'm pretty happy that I was introduced and tells why I'm here. I'm here also because it's very nice, because I share the same enthusiasm that I feel in this room. You know, CERN is also another place where we are exposed every day to the energy of the young people. We have in this moment about 3,000 PhD students working at CERN and shaping their future about that. And the eyes and the brain of the young people are the fundamental ingredient for research. What we are doing at CERN, we are doing the one thing which is in our society very important. We are pushing knowledge in the understanding how nature works. In this moment, for instance, all around us, there is a Higgs field, which is composed by all these Higgs particles that we have discovered in 2012, which keeps your electrons and your quarks at the right mass. Otherwise, you would be very different from what you look now, and you would not like it. Why this is important? Because we have understood in the last centuries that whatever we understand more about nature, we will use before or later just to make our life better, sometime, and sometime worse. So knowledge in itself is a value, is a necessity. The use of knowledge, the use of science, the use of all what you have learned here is always interacting with your responsibility. So we are doing the same job at different ends of it. In this moment, at CERN, we are developing new detectors, new technologies, because in order just to do this very material thing, we have just to use a lot of technology. Some of you are too young, but you know, internet, the www was not existing the day after Columbus discovered Americas. It was invented only 25 years ago, 26 just to be precise, at CERN, when a person of your age went to his supervisor and told him, I have an idea just to make communication inside our international collaboration slightly better. And essentially, he had created what you are still using nowadays when you write http:// you are using this markup language that Tim Berners-Lee 25 years ago did at CERN. The nice thing about this is that we had no idea in that moment that this would have changed the world. And of course, being funded by taxpayer money, we didn't patent it. But we did the smartest thing than that. We kept the intellectual property. So as long as we don't let you pay us money for that, nobody can ask you money for writing http://. But this tells you a long story about innovation. Innovation is not a fixed thing, it's a territory. It's a territory that you want just to prepare in such a way that the most exotic plans can come out. And you don't snip all the plans which are not equal of what you think there should be coming there. You cannot think, I want only carrots from there, because this is not innovation. This is incremental things. Incremental things are very good, but a society who can build candles will be making better and better candles, but will never make an electric lamp. From the candle to the electric lamp, there is a cut. There is a disruptive thing which goes all the way from the theory all the way to the implementation. So in your future, you'll be exposed to that. You'll be exposed to that, and I was happy that Gloria was telling you that you are a class which has particularly exploited the corner of collaboration. And since I know you a bit, because I was honored just to look at you in the face for a moment, some of you, I know also that you like competition, not only collaboration. And this is exactly what is happening at CERN. Our model is based on collaboration and competition. And these two things, in our opinion, must coexist in order just to have a healthy group of people and make an impact on society. And these two things have just to coexist in a sort of very, very coherent way. It's easy in science, in fundamental science, because fundamental science, despite what you think, is a very simple society. It's based on a few rules which are shared by all the world community. It's called scientific method, are 3 rules. It has some, it needs just to be exercised very democratically, because intrinsically science is not democratic, because you cannot decide who is right by vote. So you have just to allow the single person in this room who has the right theory, the right solution, to defend it against the prejudices of the other through a system which allows him just to propose his idea, defend it, and push it forward, and then all the other will agree. The more you go into the complexity of a real society, of the everyday society, the number of rules are increasing, so society is becoming less simple. So essentially, you will have a tougher life than we scientists. But never forget that in this world, authority is important, but is not the real name of the game. If you want just to make an impact, you will have just to have people follow you, not because you are their boss, but because they trust you, because they think that you are the person who has the right idea, and the right ears just to listen to the right idea. You know, sometimes scientists, in this moment, CERN is also enjoying a thing that you have experienced very well. I've seen there were 35 nationalities in this class. In this moment at CERN, we have slightly more than 100 nationalities working together. And there are not very many places in which you see Russians and Americans working together, Pakistani and Indians working together, Palestinian and Israeli working together, saying even, miracle, Italians working with other Italians. So it's a fantastic environment, you know? And from this point of view, we are not especially different community. So the second thing I always say, the number of idiots among physicists is equal to the number of idiots you can find in any part of the society, even in this room, unfortunately, because the modern definition of idiot is a person who is damaging the others while he's damaging himself. And it's very easy, you know, each one of us in his life has done things which are damaging both to the others, to himself, behaving like an idiot. So, you know, if you make a plot, a quadrant, and in the abscissa you say benefit to the others and benefit to yourself in the ordinates, and around 0, so whatever is negative, you're damaging people, whatever is positive, you're making good. So in the upper right corner, there are the people who are making impact on society, the people we call intelligent. They're benefiting themselves while they're benefiting society. On the left there are people who are damaging, upper left, themselves while benefiting the society. And we call them naive, altruist, saints. And on the right lower part, there are the people who are damaging the others while getting profit from themselves. And we call them bandits. And then there are the idiots, the people, the other corner, in which this thing. So, not once a day, but once a week, make a check of this SWOT thing and put a point about yourself. It's a good advice. I do it every day. And I find myself often in the wrong place. Not always in the one of the idiots, fortunately. And not very often in the part of the bandit. Okay. Anyway, you know, all this thing which has brought you here is not very different to what has brought me to do this job. I think that at the end is we all share a curiosity of the future. We want just to not only are curious about the future, but since we know that it's very difficult to predict the future, we have the idea that the best way to predict the future is just to shape it. And we all are positive enough in our heart to think that we can give a small contribute to that. This is very important because in this environment sets the bridges between different skills of a different part of the community, which are needed in order just to master the complexity, which is more and more with us. We will have just to think about our future in terms of sustainability, in terms of just having a thing which allows not only an horizon of 3 years, 5 years, but of 30 years, of 50 years, and it's difficult unless we are putting together our different skills. And curiosity, you know, is one of the things which is very innate with us being human. When people ask me, why did you choose just to do physics? I was a guy who was pretty good in a number of things when I was in the high school, so I could have chosen many things. But the thing which probably made me decide, in a sense, is my curiosity about things was a thing which was innate in me. I started very early. One thing which fascinates me, and probably is one of the things which has moved me into this field, when I was really a kid, I was maybe 5 years old, I was fascinated about simple things. You know this toothpaste signal, which has this red strip. I could not understand how they could put the strip in the tube and let it come out. So, since I was an experimental kid already there, if you grab a scissor and a toothpaste, you make your mother very unhappy, but you find a discovery for that. But I was forbidden just to do that. Say, no, this is not fair. This is too easy. You have just to make an hypothesis how it works, and then check it, and then after that, after a number of hypotheses that cannot be dismounted by a higher authority, which in that case was my father, you will be allowed just to cut the damn tube and look what is inside. And it took me some time just to find a reasonable hypothesis for that. I will not tell you what it is because you should repeat the exercise. And then I was allowed just to open it. And it was an enormous joy to understand that my imagination could see a thing that I was not seeing and confirm it to be true. This is a thing that I really wish you keep doing that. If you have done this, you have gone through this, I suppose, hard exercise for which you get today the recognition, is because you want just to learn more. And learning and knowledge is the only life insurance you have for your future. Keep curious, keep just not accepting things because everybody thinks they are like that, because it's not what we are expecting from you. We are expecting that while reorganizing the box, from time to time, you get out of the box and you feel a fresh breath of air, and you tell us a bigger box where to go. Thank you and congratulations. I will not keep you away from your cocktail and your rightly earned thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Bertolucci, for this last master class that we have had in our MBA. We are very close to the end of this ceremony, and I am well aware as well that I'm the last speaker this evening, and the cocktail and the celebration are waiting for us. So I will be very short. But in my role as a dean, I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to address you a few words. Much has been said those days, today, yesterday, this week, about the past 18 months that have transformed your lives, not only at the educational and intellectual level, but also at the personal level. Farai was reflecting on your journey. Most of you came to a new country, to a new city, to a new culture. You set up a new network of friends, which are here with you tonight. Some of you got married during your MBA. Some others got children. Also, unfortunately, some of you lost some relative or some friend. Actually, all of us were shocked earlier this week when we lost some Esade alumni in this unfortunate plane crash. But actually, I would like to talk about the future now. What is ahead of you? You have a long professional career. You are going into a global and interconnected world, more global than ever, more interconnected than ever, where things change fast, faster than ever. As an educator, I think that my first advice is, and I am only going to give you 3 advices. My first advice is never stop learning. Dr. Bertolucci just said, learning and knowledge is the only insurance you have for the future. So don't stop learning. This is not the end. You are starting a new journey today. During your MBA, you have learned state-of-the-art models, frameworks, theories, but most likely, probably more than 80% of what you have learned is going to be obsolete in less than 10 years. So you need to constantly update yourself. This curiosity that Dr. Bertolucci was mentioning. Self-learning is going to be critical in your future careers as managers. This is not the end of your training. My second point, you have now an important responsibility. You are now an Esade graduate. And here comes my second advice. Be proud of it. Be proud of being an Esade graduate, the same as we will certainly be proud of your achievements. You know, earlier this week I had the chance to meet the MBA students that were representing Esade in the Hult Prize regional finals. And they told me that when they arrived at the regional finals, people were looking at them and asking, are you the Esade team? Looking with respect and telling them Esade always sends very powerful teams with a strong team spirit, and probably this kind of heritage that Farai was mentioning is somewhere there. And this team that is going to the international final of the Hult Prize is what we are also proud of, and they are going to increase this legend, this respect. Here comes my third and my last advice, and this is something that it has already been mentioned this evening. Whatever you do, please do it in a responsible way. Respect our values, the Esade values that you have learned, and Farai was mentioning, integrity, being sensitive to others, valuing diversity, contributing to the common good, trying to create a more just society. You know what? A couple of weeks ago, I met a senior executive at a headhunting, very well-known headhunting firm, And he told me something like, you end up hiding someone for what he or she knows. You end up fighting this person for how he or she is. So knowledge is probably one thing, but another thing are competences, abilities, and also the values. Remember our vision. Esade is an institution that inspires and trains people and organizations to develop innovative, socially responsible leadership to build a better future. I do expect that apart from management theories and competencies and frameworks, beyond the multicultural experience that you have gone through, you also take for this future journey the Esade values. Now, before finishing, let me thank you, all the Esade people who have been involved in your education, the Associate Dean, the Program Director, Program Managers, faculty members, and all the staff. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for generosity and educating and this graduating class. And now all of you who are present here are invited to attend a cocktail reception, which will be held in the Pati dels Porxos, the neoclassical courtyard next to this hall, just in the back of this hall. So ladies and gentlemen, I warmly thank you for having shared this 35 graduation ceremony, which means so much for both the new MBA graduates and to Esade. Thank you very much. Good evening.